Before I start yapping about my parties that I hosted in college, I am making salmon balls with rice and asparagus. I had to do a second attempt at the salmon balls because when you see the video, I put way too much lemon zest, and that caused the salmon balls to pretty much just taste like I was eating a raw lemon, and it was a horrible taste. So I made a second attempt, and the second attempt was a lot better, and it actually tasted like salmon this time. You might look and see that it looks fine, but it did not taste fine the first set I made. So I made the second attempt for a reason, and that was a lot better. Also made regular salmon just in case if that didn't taste good. So there was a backup for the backup. Now that that has been cleared, my parties were pretty chaotic, as you will see in this video. I was low-key stressed every party I threw just because I knew something was going to happen no matter what. And something did always happen. Before my first party though, me and my friend Jaime, we were the co-host. I was not the president, my friend Jaime was. The thing is, we have an unwritten rule where the president is the one that in charge of the parties after our previous president, the GOAT, Rogelio, was always hosting parties, and he set a standard for the future presidents. So I offered my place because Jaime didn't have a big enough place. Neither did I, honestly. But I was willing to give it a try. I had to convince my roommates. It was not that much convincing.
Hello, Peter. We're not joining your team.
I'm putting together a team.
We're in.
But they ended up saying yes. I grew up with my roommates, so I knew them. So they were fine with it. So that got also one of my roommates to invite his friend to be our DJ. And I took his word for it. Like, I was hopeful that he was going to be a good DJ. His name is DJ TK. Shout out. The only one that was concerned a bit was Jaime because he didn't know the guy. I also didn't know the guy that much because I barely met him once before we decided for him to become the DJ. But I was still hopeful and very positive about him because I heard positive reviews from my roommate. So the way I had to convince Jaime to let him be the DJ was we were both interning at our different states, and we had to make a FaceTime call to the DJ so he can prove to Jaime that he's worthy enough to be a good DJ. We had about an hour to 2 hour call where we were just listening to lectures that he made. After that meeting ended, quote unquote meeting, I called Jaime just to see what he actually thought, and he actually approved and was willing to have him DJ our first party. So we both started planning out the parties, and the way we're engineers, so we used the Google Sheet to organize the dates for these parties, what kind of parties there'll be, themes, rules to follow for every party. So what you need: speakers, the jungle juice, the microphone, the DJ, checklist for pretty much everything, and making sure the time and dates were right. This was also during our senior year, so we were trying to go out with a bang, and we hosted a party every month except for 1 month in our first semester. I must say, like, a story and from my point of view, what I saw every party from that semester. So our first party was glow in the dark, which is almost pretty much a Y2K theme party. We just called it something else, glow in the dark. We were sending out a flyer, I think a month before the party started, and people were like, they don't even know what they're gonna do the next week when we sent out that flyer. We also had a group chat where everyone in our club was, or a good amount of people from our club. That is how people will find out there was a party and when the next party would be. This was a Hispanic club. The thing with Hispanics is if you tell them a certain time, they're going to show up an hour or 2 hours later. So I always try to make the party, the start time, around 10 or 11, just for the fact that I know everyone will show up either at 12 or after 12. The only people that would show up early were the people who were very punctual. I used to be one of those people. And the youngsters, like the freshmen and sophomores, since the Jungle Juice only has a limited time. Even for an engineering club, you would think this would be a small party for like nerdy engineers. No, this was not small. The group chat was 300 people. I don't even know. I cannot fit even 60 or 80 people in my apartment. And there was usually sometimes around 100 to 150 people inside and outside of my apartment. Here's an FYI. The layout for my apartment is 2 floors. It's the first floor is the living room kitchen area. The second floor is where the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms are. So whenever we threw parties, we had to move all the furniture into our bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms upstairs. The thing is, it wasn't just 2 people living in that apartment, it was 3. So there was a bed downstairs. So we had to move an entire bed frame, a mattress, some chairs, like the dining chairs, a gaming desktop, and the gaming setup upstairs, a rolling chair upstairs. As for the couches, we were lucky enough to live on the first floor, so our idea was to put the couches outside so that way people can sit down and catch some air, because I knew it was going to get hot inside that apartment no matter what. Also, we were originally supposed to charge every party. We only charged like maybe for 2 parties. I think it was because of my dumbass. I said the first party was free because I was winning money at the casinos, which was true until I lost it all on the alcohol for every party. We also had 3 to 4 jugs of jungle juice for every party. As for how much everything cost, was like 250 to 300 every party, maybe a little bit more than that. We never got a keg until our final party of the year. There was also times that some of my hometown friends and my roommates' hometown friends would come and visit, so that way they can enjoy a party to see what a college party is like, and that was also fun. The thing is though, we had to share a bathroom, 2 bedrooms for like 8 people every party. So once everything was upstairs, furniture wise, and the couches were outside, my DJ will be set up by the counter where the sink is of the kitchen, and he would have like a bodyguard most of the time. Okay, it wasn't really a bodyguard, it was just someone he knew next to him, so that way no one could get near him, because the stove and the oven were like nearby as well, and we didn't want anyone turning that on. Also the fridge, we didn't want anyone opening the fridge. We had to hide all our food, like snacks and things that people wouldn't grab. I'm gonna show some clips from every party, videos, pictures, so that you can have an idea of what's going on and see what it was like. So now that you have all this in your mind, you know how it is to prepare for a party and what it's like. Another thing you have to do is turn down the thermostat to like 65 degrees, because all the body heat is gonna make the entire living room hot. And the living room was basically our dance floor. There was also a ceiling fan, and that ceiling fan would sometimes turn off and people would hit it when it was on. So there was times where we had to turn it off so that way no one can break our fan. There was a point actually in our first party where it was hit and it looked like it almost fell. I'll show a clip of it when I find it. Now I'm gonna go through every party that I hosted from now on. Like I said, the first party was called Glow in the Dark. So my friend and Jaime, we bought some like matching shirts to like glow in the dark. You'll see a picture of us, and some glow sticks that people could use like as bracelets and just wave around. We didn't buy a lot, we only bought like I think 50. The party start time was I think around 10:30, at least that's what it said on the flyer. I'm looking at the flyer right now, it looks like it says 11. So I was still expecting people to show up late. The only people that showed up early were like the ones I said that would show up early, the youngsters and the people who are always punctual. So it was low-key dead for the first hour, as I expect every Hispanic party should be. And then slowly people started coming in, and that's when I told my DJ to like start his set. I told him to start his set like at around 12 or 12:30, like once there was a good amount of people in the apartment. I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty drunk almost every party. They were my parties, bro, why not? And also my final year. Everyone's having a good time, our DJ's playing good music. Like here's some clips of the party. So much shit happens that I can't see, so there's maybe other things people can say or can add in the comments. But the highlights of this party were there was confetti being popped at the start of the DJ set, also at the end of the DJ set, which is when the party ended. So much fucked up shit happened. So there was also a cup that was filled with throw up next on to the counter where our DJ was, and we didn't see this until the party ended. It was fucking nasty. And another thing throughout the party was some motherfucker turned on the heater, and that was a pain in the ass because it was like super hot. It was already hot with all the body heat in there, and then with the heater on, it was like 90 degrees. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was already drunk as shit as well. As you can see from this photo, you can tell that's not a conscious mind at all. So I had to clean up my apartment with all the confetti, with the fucking throw up of fucking jungle juice in a cup, bottles everywhere, cups everywhere. That was the first party, man. It just gets worse too. One of my friends was always just on the couch. We call him the line. Shout out Miguel. And he was always just zoned out. He wasn't blacked out, I could tell. He was just zoned out, looking, staring, and nothing. Here's a picture of him. But yeah, like people enjoyed these parties even though like a lot of crazy stuff happened. We always had like a summary of the party, and there was always 4 images, and these were the 4 images of this party. Then after that party, I was like, let me find another place to host or co-host. So I asked my friend Rafa to see if he could let us use his place, and he said he was fine with it, but he had to double check with his roommates to see if they're okay with it. They all eventually said yes. Our next party was a red flag theme party, which is, I would say, basically a white lies party, just using red shirts or red flags that were yours. My red flag was I jump off roofs because one time at a party I went to, I fell off a roof, but that's a story for another time. This is me and Jaime at the party. Oh man, this party was also chaotic, and it was only the second party. So in this building, you need a fob to get into the elevator to go up, and you need a fob to get into the building. So you always had to have people that knew someone to get into the building, and then you had to have someone below sending someone up. So we had one of my roommates at the bottom with a paper sign with the Venmo, Cash App, and Zelle, so that way they could pay for the like entry for the party. There was also a security guard at the bottom by the main lobby. So once he noticed that there was a shit ton of people, maybe over 100 people that kept coming in with the same shirt, my friend Rafa actually told the security guard that we were throwing the party before people started showing up. But once it got to like a very dangerous amount, they wouldn't let anyone go up anymore. So I told people to go through the stairs so that they could sneak in so we can fob them into the party. It worked for a few minutes, and then the security guard came up again. He was saying that they were gonna give a fine to the people who were hosting the party, like a $3,000 fine. I don't remember the exact number. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, yelling at everyone to shut the fuck up, but like very loud. Like I'm yelling at these people. I'm not gonna yell in this video, but I'm yelling at everyone in this party with the music stopped, and no one was shutting up. No one didn't listen. No one didn't care. No one didn't want to do shit with me. I was just trying to be a good co-host and try to get people together to calm down, quiet down, so that way the security guard can leave. But he never left. So he officially shut down the party where people had to leave and people kept leaving. And this was like around 1:30 or 2 a.m. I can't even remember the exact time. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just throw the party back at my place again. So we moved everything, the DJ set, the jugs of jungle juice to my apartment. And we had to move all the furniture upstairs again within 30 minutes, and people showed up to my party. It was basically the after party, but it was the party because everyone was at my place now. Then these are some clips from my place. There was a point at the party where I was upstairs trying to get into the restroom because there was a long line, and people were trying to go into my bedroom, and you can imagine what they were gonna do. So I basically kicked them out of the upstairs area, and they weren't kicked out of the party, but I told them to go downstairs and never come back up. I ended up just chilling that day. I don't think I was drunk at all. I was low-key stressed as fuck because of all the moving around and the party getting shut down the first time. This party ended like at 4 or 5 a.m. It was so late. Also, after every party, we either ended up at Whataburger or King's. There was no other option, and those were the only two open that late. So after the party, the next day, we were moving things around back downstairs, and I moved my TV back downstairs, but when I was bringing it down, I dropped it, and this happened to it, so I had to buy a new TV. The next party was in October, which was the Halloween party. Me and Jaime dressed up as Spider-Man. He was the original Spider-Man. I was Spider-Man Noir, as you can see in this photo. Also, during this party, I got tired of having a hot ass apartment, so I bought 2 big ass fans so that it could be blowing a lot of colder air. Before this party started, I was also doing a lab, and I was telling people to not show up until 12 or 12:30, I forgot the exact time, because I had a lab due at midnight. It got done on time, and then the party started. Honestly, I don't know if anything really happened eventfully at this party. It was a normal party. Oh, the only thing that I would say that did happen, I invited my hometown friends for this one. They got pretty drunk. I was mostly sober. They were the drunk ones. And I think they enjoyed it because they didn't know anyone, and they were just dancing and talking with random people that they didn't know. Also, I didn't know many people at this party because I think this was a party where it was mostly a bunch of randoms that saw people with Halloween costumes, and I think they just showed up at my place because I maybe only knew 10 to 15 people that went to this party compared to 50 or 80 that I originally know. And then me and Jaime, we had a break for like a month, or actually a month and a half, because like I said, we threw a party every month except for November. And he was like, well, we finally have a break. And I was like, yeah, thank God. And then December came around, and it was the Christmas party. You had to come with like a Christmas ugly sweater or something Christmas related to the party. I think this party I blacked out. I honestly cannot tell you what happened because I don't remember this night. I do remember though is trying to match one of my friends. His name is Cesar, and Jaime were the 3 of us were trying to match each other the entire night. I matched with Cesar until maybe I think 6 drinks, and then after that I think I blacked out. So I cannot remember exactly what the hell happened at this party. I think this was also the first party I didn't have my DJ. My backup DJ was Rafa at this party. We also had a ranking for every top drunk. I am not proud of being a part of that list, but at this party I was rank 1. I was in the restroom after the party throwing up. Here's a clip. You can't see me throwing up in the restroom, but you can hear me pretty much being drunk as shit.
Do you need help?
Oh, no.
What are you doing?
Throwing up.
You're throwing up right now?
Before blacking out, people got there a little later than usual too. It was like 12:40 when there was a good amount of people in the apartment having fun. I think a lot of people had fun as well because I remember people were saying this was a fun party because all the unks were drunk. The unks being the seniors. It was like a senior party because everyone was mostly back home or went back home because this was like during the break or right before the break started for winter. Jaime was also pretty drunk. Here's a picture of him almost falling from the stairs. My DJ got drunk too. He's passed out on the floor by my washer. This was one of those parties as the first where it looked like it was dead. No one was gonna show up because from 11 to 12:30 there was only maybe 3 or 4 people in my apartment. And then after 12:40, I would say there was already 50 to 60 people that got there and everyone was having fun. By that point though, I was already gone. Here's a picture of my friend Miguel with his lights just staring into nothingness. But as far as for anything crazy happening, nothing really. It was just people having fun. getting drunk. And after that, we decided to do a party for coming back from the winter break. So this party was like first week of classes in the spring semester. This is the worst party I ever hosted. This is a party where I wish I could have back because of everything that happened. All the bullshit that happened at this party was pissing me off. At first, I didn't have my DJ again, so that was something that sucked. He couldn't make it. I forgot the exact reason why he couldn't make it. And then second, my co-host was pretty sick because he had the best idea to do a 7T challenge. And for those of you that don't know what that is, there's a bar by our college or university where it's called Cane Enables, where they sell teas. Each tea is worth 4 shots, and the challenge is to drink all 7 shots in one sitting. With one sitting, that's pretty much from when they open up until they close, because you cannot drink all that in one sitting within an hour or two. So Jaime was sick after that, and he did not drink at all this party. So I knew he was gonna be sober. I was not sober at this party. I was drunk, but not like I didn't know what was going on. So at first it was a normal party, people showing up a little bit later, around 12:30ish. A good amount of people were there too. Everyone was having fun up until like I would say around 1:30, I think, or 2 o'clock. Things just went to shit after that. So since I didn't have my DJ, we were using the Bluetooth speakers. Since there were so many people and so many phones, I think the signals from each phone disturbed Jaime's phone from playing music. So like at times the music would stop or just stutter in and out. So we had to like yell at the people to turn off their Bluetooth or ask if anyone had an aux cord. No one really did. Since I didn't have a DJ, there was also no protection from my kitchen area. I usually had someone with David, which is my DJ TK, and there was like a bodyguard-ish. Not really a bodyguard, but someone like always protecting his area. So like they would also protect the fridge, the cabinets from being open, the snacks around, the stove, the oven, pretty much blocking people off from that area. And then I see people walking around with Fruity Pebbles in their hands that were mine. And I see people with cups as well with Fruity Pebbles just eating out of the cups. And someone had the whole box. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Give me the box. So I took the box. That was one thing that pissed me off right away. Another thing is people were like opening the fridge, grabbing my drinks. People were sitting on top of the stove. I was low-key getting mad because this was the first time people were stealing my food and my drinks. And then I go upstairs, someone stole my toilet paper rod where it like holds the toilet paper in place. Like that shit was gone. I don't know who stole it, I don't know who took it, but it was never seen again after that party. A couple minutes go by, I'm outside talking to some friends and people. Then I come inside, I smell something's burning. This is not good. I was like already getting pissed off by this point. I see there's someone on top of the stove, and the air fryer was on top of the stove. Mind you, it was usually always there, but there was always protection. I knew that was a bad idea from always putting it there, but that was the only place it could fit at the time because it didn't fit in our rooms, it didn't fit anywhere else but the stove. And I see the stove is on, like you see the red ring on, and it's melting the air fryer from the bottom. The plastic is melting, and that's what the smell is. I got this girl off the stove, and I was like, please get off the fucking stove. I turned off the stove, and I look underneath my air fryer. There's a hole that's like the size of a softball or 2 softballs. I was like, what the fuck, bro? I tried using that air fryer a couple days later just to test it out, and then when you turned it on, it was just smelling like burning plastic. So I threw that shit away. So I no longer had a good air fryer. And then my tipping point where I like shut everything down, like kicked everyone out of my apartment, was I go upstairs and I see a bunch of green like goo all over my washer. I'm like, what the hell is this? And someone took the time to open my Tide Pods container, put it on top of the washer, and popped the fucking Tide Pods on top of the washer and just left it there. Right then and there, I said no more parties, no more anything. I left a group chat. was trying to kick everyone out. I turned off the music and people were still trying to play music. I'm like, no, get the fuck out of my apartment. And then people were still in my apartment even though I kept trying to kick them out, but no one left. A couple minutes go by and I see a bunch of people around my kitchen area again. I've apologized multiple times and I hope she listens and hears me again. I'm truly sorry, Alex. I am very sorry for what I did. So in anger and in rage, I was like shoving people around that was in the area of my kitchen, and I threw my friend Alex to the ground, and then I got pushed to the ground like 2 seconds later. I was just releasing my anger and frustration on someone that I shouldn't be releasing that on anyone. I made my friend look bad. I made myself look like a dumbass. And I'm sorry again, Alex. I've apologized to you in person as well. I don't know if you've ever forgiven me. But that was it. That was the final straw where I was no longer wanting to throw any more parties for the rest of the year. Psych! So some time goes by and no one has thrown, okay, not no one. There's like maybe 2 more parties after mine and no one else had parties. We usually had like 2, maybe 3 sometimes parties a month, but we only had 2 in 3 months. So as graduation was approaching, I was like, I want to do something for the seniors at least. And people were convincing me to throw another party, like a final party. And I finally said yes. And this was like 3 weeks before I officially decided to throw this party. So this was a graduation party for all the seniors. It wasn't just for the seniors, like everyone else was invited too, but it was for them in terms of like saying farewell, like good luck on your next steps in life. So at this party, I wanted to go out with a bang. So I got a keg. This was the first time I got a keg. We got 4 jungle juices. By the way, this party was thrown like 3 hours after my final exam, like ever. I got my DJ to come for this final party. He made a whole set for the beginning and the end. In the beginning, he had a whole band performance. Here's a clip of that. At the end, it was like a farewell to all the seniors. We had confetti poppers for the middle, beginning, and end of the party. Everyone was taking photos, everyone was doing keg stands, everyone was having a good time. This was probably the best party we ever threw. I would rank this one number 1. My first party that of the year was probably number 2. Number 3 will probably be the Christmas one, and the rest you can rank them however you want. I really don't care. The cops actually showed up to this party. This was the first time ever the cops showed up to any of my parties. They never showed up to the ones before. I also never got noise complaints until this party.
Well, guys, this just happened. Party don't stop. The party never ends.
A lot of people were crying, saying goodbye to the seniors. I got to say bye to some people I probably haven't seen since then. A lot of people were taking photos, especially since it was the final party, so everyone wanted to remember it. And I think I remember this one the most because of the photos. This was a party, I think there's a whole album of photos that we sent into the group chat. Play some clips and photos in this section of the video from that party. Bruh, and then someone put a lot of charcoal on top of my couch that was outside because the girl was right there, and they decided to put the charcoal on the couch for some reason. My DJ also made a farewell video saying thank you to the club. Thank you for giving him an opportunity to shine. And I hope to see DJ TK in future nightclubs or become the next John Summit. Like I said, that was the last party, was I would say the best party that we threw. I would like to thank David, DJ TK, Hyman for helping for these parties, and Rafa as well. For everyone else that is watching that I know that went to these parties, thank you for showing up. I tried doing the best as I could hosting for y'all. Don't be afraid to reach out just to reconnect and just catch up with each other. I'm mostly available to talk, text, whatever. Like I said, thank you for coming to the parties, and I hope the next generation continues that tradition of having parties. If you enjoy these kind of videos, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for listening, and I'll see y'all later.